Welcome to Keiser Voices, the story of success, brought to you by Keiser University Graduate School, here where the academic world meets personal triumph. Join us today as we dive into the captivating tales of success.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Keiser Voices. We're really excited to keep talking on the subject of mentorship and then the role it can play in our students' future. So we're excited to have joining us today, Mr. Andre Luck. He is the co-founder of Four Leaf Marketing and Consulting, but he also has a very extensive history working for professional athletics teams, specifically baseball, serving in executive roles and management roles in those positions, inside sales and marketing. So he comes with a vast experience that he brings to the table anytime he is matched up in the Amplify program to our graduate level students. So thank you, Andre, for joining us today.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
So we really want to say thank you, to the mentors that take the time out of their schedules, because you're one of many, and you have a busy schedule. It's not like you were sitting around like, man, I'm bored. I got 10 hours every day to kill. What can I do with my time? I mean, you have the business with your wife, you have networking, you have community engagements, you have family engagements, but you take the time to give back to the community and, the future generations. What was it about becoming a mentor that was important to you?
Yeah, that's something I've always been focused on. I think I look back to my time, one, getting started in my career and like not knowing how to navigate, like how do I even get started in sports? I just thought I was going to go to college. You could see my football helmet there, Arizona State. That's where I went to school. And I was just going to get a job in business. But like I always had a passion for sports, but didn't know how to get there. But I got a mentor part-time job at the athletic department that helped me navigate. And then when I stepped into my first role, there was Arizona Diamondbacks, like there were tons of mentors who poured into me. And so one, I want to pay it forward because I think I was blessed to have a lot of opportunities and want to help anyone looking to get in this space again, because it is such a rewarding opportunity to work in sports. But it's always been near and dear to my heart, and something that, even going back to, when I was a teenager in college, like volunteering and just trying to help out like the next generation. Being the oldest brother probably helps with that too. So that's always been something that's been in my DNA.
How did you get connected with Keiser University's flagship campus and their Amplify program?
Yep. So when I was VP of ticket sales with the Miami Marlins, one of my team members, Samir Makrami, he had worked with Professor Hilliard to set up a sports management night at the ballpark. So through that, I remember like they kept talking about it, like we're gonna have this night with Keiser, this big night with Keiser. And so finally I got on a call with Tony, and like his passion was infectious for the students, for the program. He asked if I would want to be a mentor. I said, before he could even finish, I said yes. And so, I've done it a few times now. And like you said, like you have to budget your time accordingly. And even the first go round, I didn't probably put in the time that I would have liked to. But, just being a resource for someone as a mentor and a mentee who's looking to get in the industry, it's something I'm super passionate about. So yeah, that's how I got connected. And, anytime he asked to come speak to the class or, talk to one of the students, I'm excited to do it because his passion is infectious. And I love that. I want to help spread that.
What was your expectations for your mentee heading into it?
Like really for me, because I understand like there's a couple things. It could be intimidating. You're meeting with a professional, like a stranger pretty much. And so all different types of personalities. Some are more outgoing, some are a little more reserved and held back. So really I wanted the mentee to come in and participate and be engaged. Like as much as I want it for that person, like I can't want it more than they do. So, both mentees that I've had, like they were both super passionate, engaged, asked a ton of questions. When I would give like assignments, hey, put your resume together and we'll take a look at it next time we meet. They were always on the ball with that. So it was really like someone who was eager to learn, someone who's passionate, coachable, all the stuff you would probably look for in like a hire for like an entry level role or a role right out of college. Like I wanted to see that out of the mentees, and there's a ton of talent at Keiser, and each of the mentees that I've had have had that.
Is there a memorable moment, either with your first or your second mentee that within that experience that you can share with us?
Yeah, there's two, one with each, and I'm very open, honest, transparent, so I'll be a little vulnerable here. In my first go around, things were going well, and a couple months in, I got let go from my role, and so I was focused on building my business and didn't get the time to pour into my mentee the way I wanted to because I was pivoting and transitioning. So it was interesting because she was one of the first ones to reach out to me and say, "Hey, there's bigger and brighter things for you." So we kept the relationship going post like the term of the actual program. So we were able to kind of make up for the time lost. So that I think was an opportunity for someone to see like, hey, like things don't always go the way you expect them to in life and in business. So you never want to learn that like too early in life, but I think it was good for her to see like that exposure and how I was able to pivot and like what that looks like should she ever meet adversity in the future. The second go around, was really focused on helping secure an internship for Madison, and she would apply for every team, send me a resume. If there was someone I knew, I would ask and like try and get her to the top of the list. And I saw Fort Lauderdale United was looking to do an internship program. She's like, "Hey, I'm really excited about this." I'm like, "Hey, I know a couple people in there." She got it all on her own, but I'd reached out to the owner. He's like, "Hey, talk to this person, have her send the resume." And she was able to get an internship, and I just caught up with her because it just ended. She said it was an amazing experience. And now I've actually taken them on as a client in my business. So it kind of came full circle where she started as an intern and now I'm coming in and doing work with them. So who knows, maybe once she postgraduate, she could come on more full time or get another opportunity. But that was cool because that was the goal, was to get an internship. And like right at the end of the school semester, we were able to get that, and she got it and had an amazing time this summer.
That's amazing. And I think it's so interesting because we interviewed one of the other mentors in the previous episode, but she said something similar to what you're saying. Like, it's not just about what the mentee is taking away, but the mentors are taking away and benefiting from this relationship as well.
Yeah, I could chime in on that. Like for me, seeing one, it just reminds me of the passion of when I started, getting into this and like why I was so excited. So you kind of get into the monotony a little bit of like the day to day. Like, I've been doing this 17, 18 years, and to see someone who's so hungry, it's like it reignites that passion for you. So that's always fun to see. But there's a new generation with bright ideas and being very innovative. So I want to learn as much from them, whether that's I may work with someone who's in that generation and just understand, have a better ability to relate and connect with, or just learn like, what are you guys looking at differently, whether it's technology or new ways to think about things. Like, I don't want to be, this is how I've always done it. It's worked for me. Like, if I don't evolve, then I'm going to get left behind. So it's good to connect with people who, are coming up in the industry with bright ideas and learn just as much from them as hopefully they're taking away from us.
What were some of the key takeaways that you wanted your mentees to walk away with, like other skills that they can't gain in the classroom?
I think, yeah, like what they don't teach in the classroom is like kind of the real world type stuff. There's because you have to teach to a large group, so you have to give like general kind of topics and subjects, and like and Keiser is probably different because it's a smaller school, so you could be a little more hands-on, customized, intimate with that relationship. But like little things, like for me, it's like, don't just have a good resume. Like, here's how you get to the top of the pile. Find the hiring manager on LinkedIn, send them a message. If you want to make it even more personal, send a video message and then follow up. Like, these are things that like less than 1% of the people are doing out there. So it's like, for me, if you're, whatever the opportunity is, and it just happened to be for me, like my mentee was looking to get into sports in a sales marketing type role. Like that's my background, so I could easily help there. And I could give that perspective of, this is what actual hiring managers are looking for. And I think what you learn in the classroom and everything like that is great, but like I wanted to get, past just that and like get to like, here are the actual tangible things that people are doing in the real world to help. So that's real big for me, is that exposure. What's working today? What are maybe outdated principles that, you could be more modern on and more forward thinking on, and how you get in front of somebody and have a conversation. And like, those are things that I really wanted to hit on.
I don't know if you've heard or not, but this year with the Amplify heading into its third year, we're looking to expand it. And it's going to open up now to graduate students from the graduate school, which are students who are pursuing their master's and doctoral degrees 100% online. So we're opening up the opportunity for them. And as we share with them these episodes from the podcast that we featured Amplify on and the importance of mentorship, what advice would you have for anybody considering, being a mentee or taking advantage of a mentorship program?
Yep. I think most do a really good job of it, but things I want to make sure to hit on is, take as much as you can from this person, like learn about them, like their history, their background, their career path, what led them to get there, and ask those like second level questions, not like just tell me your career path, but like what were some challenges you faced along the way? What are things that, like really be invested in the relationship. And I think go into it with an open mind, because even if, let's say you're, paired up with someone who's in sales, but you want to be in like PR or communications or something, like there's still general traits, characteristics of successful people, whether the job is the same or not, that you can take away from that person. So pick up on their tendencies, pick up on their habits. It's typically consistency that leads to success. So like, what are the little things that they do that maybe don't stand out on a piece of paper that has led to them being successful, and just start to take some of that away and implement that into your day-to-day so you could start being successful earlier in your career and hopefully speed up that learning curve.
That's amazing. And we don't want to take up too much of your time. We know you're busy. But what piece of advice would you give to one of the community members at large that are considering being the mentor?
Yeah, I would say definitely do it if you have the opportunity and the bandwidth, because one, you learn, like I said, like you learn from them, like skills that are going to help you now and in the future. But it's kind of cheesy, but warms your heart, obviously, to help someone else. And like, there's a fulfillment that comes from it that, just leads to you being a better person and growing as a professional and growing personally. So if you have the time, whether you feel you have the expertise or not, like there's something that you can share that someone can take away. And just the fact that you're giving someone your time and your energy and looking to help them, that goes a long way. You never know how much that's going to boost someone else's confidence, how that may set them on the right path to what will be a long-term career. Like I talked about, like when I was in college, like if someone had told me like, hey, here's all the things you're going to do in your career and you're going to be an entrepreneur in the next 15, 20 years, like, I'm like, you're crazy. Like I never would have thought that, but someone gave me an opportunity, poured into me very early in my career. And, it led to different opportunities that, now I'm in a position to give back to others. So you never know what path you set someone down just by spending a couple hours a month with them and just sharing your knowledge and insights.
No, that's awesome. And again, we thank you for serving as a mentor for 2 years now through the Amplify program. And we're certainly looking to see what your mentees have in store for them in the future. We'll be checking in with Miss Madison, your most recent mentee, here soon. She's been so busy. You mentioned her internship and really seeing that success from the work and the time she spent with you. So we can't wait to hear from her about her experience. So thank you, Andre, for joining us today on the podcast.
Of course. No, thanks for having me.
And if you guys have enjoyed this conversation, be sure to like, share, subscribe, and follow, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Thank you for journeying with us today on Keiser Voices, the story of success. As we close this chapter, remember, every story has its next page.